Good afternoon. On behalf of our graduates, the faculty and staff, and our Board of Trustees, I would like to welcome each of you to this afternoon's graduation ceremonies. I am Jack Lee, and I have the proud honor of serving as Superintendent of Schools for Bullard ISD. At this time, I would like to take a moment to introduce the individuals seated on stage. You can have a seat. You guys can grab. Whoops. First, our Board of Trustees. I ask that you please hold your applause until all members have been introduced. Board members, as I call your name, please stand. Board members Jason Campbell, Corey Santos, Susie Saxon, Jason Steinbeck, Secretary Stephanie Looper, Vice President Brian Vestal, and President Corey Zernak. Please join me in thanking these 7 individuals for their service to the entire Bullard ISD community. I would also like to introduce the members of the Bullard ISD and Bullard High School administration. As I call your name, please stand. Again, I ask that you please hold your applause until the end. High School Principal Kevin Blaine, High School Assistant Principal Chris Pavlak, High School Assistant Principal Helene Cortines, and Bullard ISD Assistant Superintendent Cheryl Hendricks. At this time, we will begin the procession of our candidates for graduation. We ask that you please remain seated for the processional.
All right, students, you may turn and be seated. I would like to introduce to you Miss Carly Lowe as she makes her way to the podium. She is going to lead us in our invocation this afternoon.
Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, the Texas Pledge, and the National Anthem. Please bow your heads with me for a word of prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for letting us gather here today to recognize and celebrate the end of a major chapter in our lives. May this graduation day be a celebration of your life within us. Father, we thank you so much for our time here together, for all the friends we have made, for all the days of laughter, and for all the times of great discovery and learning. We thank you for all who have given of their energy and skill so that we can graduate today. Our teachers and mentors, our family and loved ones, we thank you for them and give them all to you in prayer. We poured our gifts into your hands. May we hold this memory in our heart as we continue on our adventure. Father, may we live a life that reveals your hope and be guided in everything we do by your everlasting truth. As this chapter in our life closes, so a new one begins. We present ourselves like an open book before you. Come inscribe your words of life into our lives. Fill our minds with your thoughts, fill our bodies with your strength, fill our hearts with your dreams, that we might eternally love and serve you this day and every day. In your name we pray, amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, the Texas Pledge, and the National Anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched with so gallantly streaming on the rocket reclare the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Ladies, thank you so much for sharing your musical gifts, with all of us today. Graduates, today is your day. For the past 13 years, you've looked forward to celebrating this, the end of one of the first chapters of your life story. I hope that you know your parents, family, this community, and the faculty and staff at Bullard ISD are beyond proud of all that you have accomplished. Today is one more success you get to add to your list. Speaking of success, I want you to think back through the past 10 months that have made up your senior year. In a year that was filled with uncertainty, I do not offer any excuses for the experiences that you've had. That's not what matters today. As you have no doubt heard before, life will often throw curves your way. Coach Callaway has probably heard me say this a million times. You can win a game by 100 points, or you can lose a game by 100 points. What really matters is how you act in both of those situations. The ease or difficulty of life is not what identifies you. Instead, it is how you react in both good and difficult situations. For our parents and community, let's take a brief moment to reflect on this past school year. You may not realize it, but in nearly every event that you and your fellow students competed in, our school was successful. In cross country this year, we had runners compete at the state meet. Our volleyball team not only advanced to the playoffs, but were the by-district champions. Football had an outstanding season, advancing to the playoffs. Later in the fall, girls basketball advanced to the playoffs and were also by-district champions. Our boys soccer team advanced to the playoffs. Our Lady Panthers soccer team were not only the district champions, but they advanced several rounds deep in the playoffs, ultimately becoming the regional quarterfinal champions. In powerlifting, we had girls and boys that competed at the regional level and a state participant on the boys' side. In track, our girls' team were the district champions, and we had both boys and girls that advanced to the regional event. We had boys and girls that advanced to the state level in golf, as well as tennis. In tennis, our mixed doubles team were the district champions and advanced to the state meet. Just last week at that state meet, they placed third in state. Both our baseball and softball teams were undefeated in district participation, bringing home district championships. Baseball ended their season at the regional quarterfinals round. Our softball team will compete next week in the regional championship. They are one series away from a trip to Austin for the state semifinals. Outside of athletics, we had a one-act play group that advanced out of district competition. Our Bullard band earned a Division I at UIL contest and competed in the state marching contest where they placed fourth. In the spring, both our bands and choirs received sweepstakes distinctions in concert and sight reading. Our award-winning bells continued their tradition of excellence, receiving the best in class in just about every competition they danced in. For our FFA chapter, we had students represent our school at state-level contests. And I'm confident that I have probably forgotten one individual or one group that may have also advanced. In every way possible, this year has shown us that Bullard Panthers are resilient and fierce competitors. Most importantly, I want to share with the entire community that these successes all shared one universal trait. Advancing in competition and high academic success can be attributed to the young women and men that are seated before us today. Each team, many individual contests, in our band, choir, and FFA chapter. On the Bells Dance team, we have the seniors seated right here. Graduates, much of the success that we saw this year and will continue to see in future years is because of your leadership. In both the victories and losses, often more times in the losses or setbacks, I have personally witnessed many of you encouraging your fellow juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. That, more than anything else, is a testament of how you react in good and difficult situations. My hope and prayer for each of you is that you will continue to demonstrate that level of leadership in all that you do going forward. Graduates, hold your heads high as you leave here today. Be proud of what you have accomplished. I know that we will continue to see success out of each of you as you venture into the next phase of life. Good luck, and may God bless each of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. 3 years ago, Bullard High School began electing class officers to manage their own student accounts, fundraise, make operational decisions, fund their senior prom, and determine a class legacy gift. Each year, we ask the senior class officers to decide what their legacy gift to Bullard High School will be. To make the announcement of the class of 2021 Senior Legacy Gift, I would like to introduce you to our senior class president, Ms. Stella Vaughn. Besides being our senior class president, she is also our third ranking graduate in this year's senior class. Stella was also a head delegate in Model UN. She was a drum major for our award-winning Panther Band. Stella plans on attending UT Dallas in the fall and plans on majoring in software engineering. Please welcome to the stage Miss Stella Vaughn.
Good evening. Good afternoon. I'm Stella Vaughn, and I've had the privilege of being the student government president for the past 2 years. Our class has decided that our legacy gift of $5,511 will help fund the reimagining of the library as the world advances forward into a new, more technological age. As I'm sure we've all learned during our extended spring break last year, technology has come to play a vital role in both our lives and our education. This role will only continue to grow in the future, and we must continue to adapt to the changing times. In recent years, the high school has experienced a tremendous amount of growth and improvement thanks to our administration and the passion they have for this community. I'm very delighted that our class has been presented with the opportunity to help contribute to this improvement and give something back to the school that has given so much to us. The library will still have some books, of course, but the selection will be refined to the books that experience the most circulation. New amenities will be added in order to make the space more useful to the student body. The current cafe will be improved upon by adding more seating, tables, and the culinary classes will provide a larger selection of snacks. A recording studio will be added as well so that students from various organizations will be able to record for various events that are no longer held in person. There will also be a seating area added so that students have a place to study and relax. A new room will be added for a gaming center, and last but certainly not least, a project development center will be added as well. This area will have supplies for students to use so that they can complete projects and work in a group setting. The supplies will also be available to those that don't have access to them at home. I hope this new space will provide an area that nurtures students and will provide them with opportunity to undertake remarkable feats. May it present students the opportunity to form new bonds with one another, find a place to relax, learn, and grow. I would like to thank everyone who has contributed their hard work and generosity. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Stella. Before I introduce our salutatorian for the salutatorian address, I do have a few special recommendations or recognitions I would like to make before we move forward. Seniors, as Dr. Lee said, you have had some great accomplishments. I've told you many times how important you are to the functioning of our school, and that as good as you will be will determine how good our school will be, and you have done an outstanding job of leading for the 4 years that you have been here. You heard all the accomplishments. I want to tag a few more onto that. As best I could count it, we have sent 171 different students this year to a state-level competition or event. 171 students. Not only is this senior class very accomplished competitively, but they are very accomplished academically. This year, Bullard High School has the highest participation rate that we've ever had in AP courses, and we expect the highest passing rate this year when we get our scores back on our AP exams. Not only AP scores, but our SAT performance. As best I can calculate and look back into history, this year's graduating senior class has one of the highest SAT averages that we have ever seen come through Bullard High School at 1065. So congratulations to you. Not only that, we just got our EOC scores, our STAR scores last week, and I am happy to report that those are the highest STAR or EOC scores that we have received in our history. Congratulations to those students and teachers. Seniors, all of these wonderful accomplishments can be attributed to your leadership, your efforts, and your example, and for that I thank you. I do want to take a brief moment to recognize a few special groups of people. I think these students, if they had the opportunity to tell you how important the teachers that they've had here at Bullard High School, and not only Bullard High School, but Bullard ISD, they would share with you how important they've been, how influential they've been in their lives. So if you are a teacher at Bullard High School or Bullard ISD, if you would please stand wherever you're at and let our students and other visitors acknowledge you. All teachers, Bullard High School, Bullard ISD. Thank you. 3 years ago, we started what we call Panther Time. Panther Time is like a homeroom, for most of you would understand that. All of our students are grouped into small groups of 12, 13, 14 with senior Panther Time teachers. I charged those teachers, I charged them 3 years ago that these are your students. I don't want anybody in this district knowing these students better than you know them. I don't want anyone loving them more than you love them. And it is your job, Panther Time teachers, to get every one of your students to this place right here today, to the graduation stage. So if you are a senior Panther Time teacher, and I know many of them are right here in front of me, please stand and be recognized. Senior Panther Time teachers. Thank you. As you are all aware, we had a few struggles and trials in bringing this graduation ceremony to you this afternoon. It was not an easy thing. We do have a graduation committee. They have put in hours and hours of work for zero pay just to make this a special event for your students and students for you. So if you are on the Bullard High School graduation committee, if you are one of those committee members, would you please stand and be recognized? And lastly, I want to thank the residents of Bullard, Texas. If you live in Bullard, Texas, would you just raise your hand and wave your hand up in the air? If you live here in Bullard, Texas, I hope all of our parents of the seniors are raising your hands. But on behalf of this senior class and all of these folks behind me and all of our teachers and staff, we want to say thank you to all of the people who live in Bullard, Texas. We believe it's the greatest place to raise your children. It's the greatest place that you could put them in school, but we are thankful for the residents of our community. You're the people that buy all the chocolate bars, that come to the Friday night football games, that come out here to these graduation ceremonies. You've supported our students for all the years that they've been here, and I hope that these young people have made you proud. But we just want to take the opportunity to say thank you to all of the residents of Bullard, Texas. Students, if you would join me in thanking them. And finally, before I turn it over to our salutatorian, 2 years ago, we began an emphasis with our students on giving back to our wonderful community. We believe at Bullard High School that teaching our students to serve others, especially within our community, is just as valuable as English or math. We challenge all of our students at Bullard High School to complete 25 hours of community service per year. If one of this year's seniors completed the 50 hours of service, they are awarded a special red community service cord here at graduation. Students, please stand if you have completed your 50 hours of community service. Thank you, students. You may be seated. I am very proud to announce that this year's graduating class has completed a total of 1,390 hours of community service right here in Bullard, Texas. This year alone, the students at Bullard High School have completed 2,582 and a half hours of community service. Let's give all of those students a round of applause. And the last group that I would like to recognize, we have a few students in our graduating class who are headed to a life of service to our armed services and our military. Students, if you are one of those students, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. All right, it is my honor to introduce to you this year's Bullard High School Salutatorian, Miss Lily Bunger. Miss Bunger, very good. Miss Bunger has been a member of Model UN. She is a 2021 National Merit Finalist. She was first chair in our symphonic band and has also completed 9 AP courses in the last 2 years alone. Miss Bunger is headed to Columbia University and is planning on majoring in history. Please welcome the Bullard High School Salutatorian, Miss Lily Bunger.
Good afternoon, parents, teachers, friends, guests, administration, and most importantly, the class of 2021. Let me be the first to tell you, we've made it. I've been waiting to say those words as long as I can remember, though I didn't expect such a large audience for it. It's been an interesting 4 years, featuring an exceptionally long spring break, and there was definitely something before that, right? As a class, we've faced challenges from the mundanity of a 3 a.m. study session fueled by desperation, thanks Miss Dorsey, to a once-in-a-century pandemic. We are so much stronger and more resilient than our freshman selves could ever have imagined. And though they'd feign nonchalance, I like to think some part of our freshman selves would have been proud of us. The fact that you're sitting here in front of me is a testament to your strength and capability. Today, we are here to celebrate everything we've overcome to be here. I know it hasn't all been easy, but we got through it together. To everyone who has ever passed out during an especially hard practice, dripped salty tears onto that test you forgot to study for, mentally fallen apart in class, wanted to quit, considered joining the circus, fallen on hard times, fallen for the wrong person, or fallen down. This is our day. Today we celebrate getting back up. Today we celebrate perseverance. I know I promised I wouldn't use this metaphor, which is why I'm using it now to annoy my English teacher, but it's time to open the next chapter of our lives. My apologies for cursing you with that analogy, but here's a better one. Here, there be monsters. You may know this phrase well. It means this is the end of the map. We've explored our lives within the bounds of high school with guidance from teachers, counselors, and parents. Now it's time to move beyond the charted course and find our own ways with only the compass of our own spirits. Who knows what's out there? The monsters aren't literal. They're the embodiment of the unknown. I can't give guidance. Unfortunately, there are no roads, and I'm not Google Maps. But I can at least guarantee some of the things you'll find. You'll find yourself. You'll find the real world. You'll find taxes, or at least they'll find you. You'll find love, whether it's a family or a hobby or a friendship. You'll find things this school prepared you for. And you'll find things it most certainly did not. You'll find a way to pay to stay alive, thanks capitalism, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find greatness. Not the greatness of history books or national news stories. This is the greatness each and every one of us has the potential to achieve. Being yourself in a world that rewards following a certain standard, that's a great thing. Daring to believe in the inherent goodness of humanity and fighting for the well-being of your fellow humans even in the face of all this world's darkness, that's a great thing. Finding joy in the little things, wanting more than life gives you, doing your best even when it seems fruitless, these are all great things. It's not about one person who can change the world. It's about being open-minded, compassionate, and optimistic. Listen to other people. Try new things. You might not change the world, but you can be happy. You can make someone else happy. And that's true greatness. As I wrap this up, I'd like to thank all the people who helped me get where I am. I want to thank my teachers first and foremost. Ms. Foster, who changed the way I look at literature and at life. Mr. Brooks, the best ally I ever could have asked for. Ms. Roberts, for supporting and being there for me and for listening. Ms. Dorsey, for teaching me how to function on 2 hours of sleep, and also for challenging me in the classroom. I would also like to thank my parents and all the families in the audience for sticking by us through all our high school crazy. I'd like to thank the administration for their involvement in our educations. Most importantly, our superintendent, Dr. Lee, for genuinely listening to students and wanting to make change. I'd like to thank my friends for always being there when I needed you. I would like to thank Elizabeth especially, my rock through the storm and chaos of this past year. And finally, I want to thank the class of 2021 as a whole. You've all got great things ahead of you if you reach for them, and I'm so grateful to have spent the last 4 years to you and to be spending this afternoon celebrating our accomplishment together. We've made it.
Thank you, Lily. Excellent job. I'm happy to introduce to you the 2020-21 Bullard High School Valedictorian, Ms. Caitlin Hainich. Ms. Hainich was a member of the Bullard High School Spanish Club, Model UN, varsity soccer team, the National Art Honor Society, the National Honor Society, vice president of her junior and senior class, and was awarded Academic All-State. She is also one of the hardest working young people you will ever find. Please welcome to the podium this year's Bullard High School Valedictorian, Ms. Caitlin Hainich.
Good afternoon. First, I want to say thank you to all the family, friends, teachers, administration, and community members who are attending the graduation of the class of 2021 today. And especially congratulations to the class of 2021 for making it here, because at one point in time, I bet a lot of us thought we weren't going to. But guess what, guys? We did it, this is it, and boy, does it feel good. First, I want to start with a disclaimer. I'm a sporadic, humorous, and unorganized person, and that will be reflected in this speech. I would like to share with you what I have learned throughout high school that I feel may have been deemed universal experiences. I learned how to function on 4 hours of sleep, and even function is not the right word. Survive might fit better. How to not cry over minor inconveniences, but that took 4 years, and I can thank Ms. Foster for that. How to fight off the urge to just stop coming to school at the end of every single year. And most importantly, how to get an assignment done before the class that is due in, because I completely forgot that it was due. And I know when y'all guys were doing it too, because I was getting those, hey, did you get the homework? 5 minutes before the bell rings. Bradley, looking at you. If you haven't learned these things yet, you might want to do a few practice runs before college, because if I have any advice for you, which I probably don't have any business giving, it is that being able to do these things is important. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not a serious person when it comes to things like this, which made writing this relatively difficult. So I'm going to pretty much say that this graduation is the end and the beginning, and as cheesy as that sounds, it is true. Think of it this way. This graduation is the light at the end of the tunnel that you were staring down as a freshman, all small and scared with a tinge of excitement. Now you're staring down a different tunnel. I know, there's another one. As you stare down this tunnel, you're small compared to the world, still scared, and still have that tinge of excitement. Whether your school experience involved dressing up as founding fathers, thanks for that, Bailey, or making new close friends at work, mine specifically being Kylie Engel, Haley Smith, Emily Bowles, Kaylee Thomas, Riley Wood, who I promised would be in this speech, Landon Harris, Trevor Adkins, Carson Blow, Nathan Briley, and more. Or even if it included going to every football and volleyball game, getting speeding tickets, specifically going 30 over on homecoming, and even making new friends on the last few days of school, including people like Dylan Royer, who now owes me $20 for putting him in this speech. We all had varied experiences and perspectives, but we all did it. As in did it, I mean survived 4 years of a make and or break trial on our character and a will to keep going sometimes. We all managed it. I know this should probably be a little bit more inspirational and moving, but I think your high school experiences are what you make of it and have shaped you into the person you have become today. And quite frankly, nothing that I will say will change that. We have been guided through until this point, and now it is time to really figure some stuff out going forward. But again, I'm currently standing up here with ring pop residue on my gown thanks to Maddie O'Neill's and I's clumsiness, so advice from me in preparedness is not exactly useful. But as I get closer to the end of this, I would like to thank everyone who was there for me throughout the year, including all of my friends. Whether I mentioned you or not, almost everyone out there has helped me and supported me. And if you quite frankly don't even know who I am, I get it. I would also like to thank my family, including my mom and dad, for pushing me above and beyond all the time and contributing to me getting here today. And of course, to my teachers who saw me cry, stress, panic on many levels and occasions. They supported me and always saw the best, even when I told them their class is one of the few I should have dropped 2 days into school. But to be fair, there wasn't exactly a main point to this speech besides a few things. If you are sitting in this chair, you made it, you graduated. Memories are what you make of them, and to cherish the ones you find important, and that you always have the support of the people around you. Whether they are telling that you are a drag for asking too many questions, or too busy throwing up in chemistry due to a dare prompted by Bryce Jewell, or wanting to learn multiple languages with you, like me and Cole tried multiple times, or even eating crumble cookies after school once a week just to ease some stress. Shout out to Stella and Ryan for that. Just know they will always be there. But pretty much this is a wrap, not just on this speech, but on your high school experience. And I hope that every single one of you made it everything you could, because this is it. We did it, we graduated.
All right, seniors, please stand up. Dr. Lee, I have the pleasure this afternoon, of certifying to you and the members of the Bullard Independent School District Board of Trustees that these seniors in front of us have met the requirements for graduation as outlined by the Texas Education Agency and the Bullard Independent School District. Students, you may be seated.
At this time, we will present the diplomas, beginning with the top 10 and proceeding alphabetically. Graduates, please come forward to accept your diplomas. Top 10%, Caitlin Ann Hainich. Top 10%, Lily Grace Bunger. Top 10%, Stella Monet Vaughn. Top 10%, Blake Gregory Seib. Top 10%, Rebecca Grace Brashear. Top 10%, Bailey Nicole Smith. Top 10%, Cesar Antonio Vidal, Jr. Top 10%, Libby Pearl Idle. Top 10%, Allison Renee Schulteis. Top 10%, Kylie Marie Engel. Lauren Grace Acker. Trevor Jordan Adkins. Willow Skylar Aarons. Gracie Leanne Andrews. Zachariah Isai Arroyo. Titus Lane Ashton. Bodie Rain Bailey. Faith Olivia Biza. Grace Anna Biza. Cheyenne Storm Baker. Emily Kate Baker. Gustavo Angel Balderas. Cameron Paul Baldwin. Mason Allen Barker. John Alec Belanger. Brittany Lauren Beckstein. Carson Lee Blow. Emily Grace Jalen Bowles. Callie Ann Bosley. Savannah Lee Boudreau. Jason Kane Boykin. Kirsten Aubrey Bradley. Brody Stephen Bradshaw. Austin Ryan Bragg. Sydney Ellen Braun. Havana Pearl Brewster. Bradley Scott Brooks. Isabel Rose Brown. Logan Glenn Brown. Tyler Bryant Beckman. Macy Lane Bunger. Courtney Leanne Byerly. Cooper Matthew Calloway. Katie Elizabeth Campbell. Emily Claire Cannon. Katie Lynn Capps. Connor Lee Carson. Jake Weston Childs. Jordan Michael Christopher. Rachel Elaine Mandra Clapshaw. Alexander Jesse Constante. Justin Luciano Clark. Alexander Kraft. Caleb Randall Cross. Ryan Charles Crossman. Alec James Deffenbaugh. Cameron Gage Dickinson. Anna Elizabeth Dyson. Kobe Allen Doctor. Kylan Mitchell Doherty. Mackenzie Elizabeth Dornack. Charles Jacob Dempsey. Coralie Bella DeBose. Molly Catherine Duncan. Mary Anna Ehrman. Peyton Keith Ellis. John Michael Engel. William Ellis Fleming. Dalton Riley Fry. Lucky Ray Gable. Madison Cheyenne Gage. Derek Hunter Garces. Kaylee Ann Marie Graves. Casey Ann Griffith. Abby Claire Grimes. Bailey Reese Hall. Grace Margaret Hall. Adam Thomas Hare. Landon Craig Harris. Nicholas Parker Henriksen. Hagen Kai Hodges. Houston Trace Hodges. Preston Anthony Holloway. Mason Christopher Honeycutt. Julie Nicole Hopkins. Beverly Danielle Howard. Carolyn Elizabeth Humphreys. Shane Michael Humphreys. Top 10%, Hayden Reed Jeffus. Jaden Juliana Jennings. Bryce Austin Jewell. Cody Thomas Johnson. Tony Lee Jones Jr. Tamara Charday Candace Kemp. Garrett Gregory King. Nicholas Thomas Kramer. Alexis Christian Lackey. Top 10%, Harley Joe Lansford. Owen Alexander Laura Basave. Dylan Tyler Lassiter. Joshua McGregor Leach. Meadow Lynn Lowe. Colton Cooper Long. Riley Patrick Long. Angelique Nicole Lorenz. Top 10%, Carly Lynn Lowe.
Top 10%, Jordan Marie Martin. Angela Maria Martinez. Ariel Grace Matula. Nicholas Ryan Mayo. Elijah Fletcher Mays. Peyton Brooke McBride. Andrew Joseph McKeithen. Jordan Elizabeth McCowan. Brianna Nicole McLeod. Antonio Abisai Medina. Landon Wyatt Medley. Christian Thomas Moore. Britton Knight Mormon. William Blake Morse. Nathan Paul Newhouse. Darren Clay Vin Wynn. Gabrielle Marie Nichols. Garrison Fisher Nichols. Madison Grace O'Neill. Trevor Reese Parham. Charlie James Paris. Aiden Cole Pate. Top 10%, Jessica Perez. Shiloh Celestine Perez. Madeline Rose Phillips. Samantha Pineda. Addison Ray Posky. Audrey Lynn Potter. Sarah Ann Marie Provenche. Austin William Reed. Adam Lucky Richards. Keely Grace Richmond. Top 10%, Tatum Nicole Rigsby. Caitlin Paige Rich. Dylan Scott Royer. Christian Cole Rude. Travis Bo Rude. Lizeth Vanessa Sanchez. Yulissa Santillan. Kendall Lynn Marie Schmidt. Josie Mae Selman. Riley Hunter Sharp. Hagan Boyd Smith. Haley Blair Smith. Jesse Hunter Smith. Charlie Francis Sneed. Taylor Leanne Stillman. Top 10%, Bethany Grace Stein. Christian Terrell Stevens. Haley Aaron Steele. Aiden Craig Cervek. Haven Callaway Taylor. Jackson Galen Taylor. Anya Elizabeth Terho Strick. Cyan Rose Terrell. Kiara Dawn Thompson. Robert Randall Thompson. Kylie Brianne Thornhill. Samuel Dale Thurman. Hunter Ryan Wagley. Matthew Gage Wakefield. Cole Jackson Wallace. Ashley Nicole Waterman. Brittany Renee Wheeler. Carson Johnston Wilburn. Top 10%, Abby Elizabeth Wills. Christian Lane Wimmer. Zachary Garrett Wise. Riley Wade Wood. Carly Ann Woodard. Elizabeth Ann Yielding. Mary Kate Faith Zertzloff.
Seniors, please stand. Seniors, you may now move your tassel from the left side to the right. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the class of 2021. If everyone would please stand and join us in our alma mater. You can find the words to our alma mater, if you do not know them, on the back of our program, and remain standing for the benediction.
benediction, we ask that you please remain at your seat during the recessional. Please bow your heads with me for a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask you for your almighty hand to be upon all of those who have graduated today and to bless our lives from this day on with goodness and love. Help us to stay true to our dreams, to use our gifts wisely, and to walk into the future with faith, hope, and great love. May each one of us find ways to cherish the memories we have made and look forward with courage in our hearts to the new challenges ahead. Lord, please guide our footsteps. Come lead us in our new areas of study and the work opportunities that lie ahead of us. May your Spirit guide us as we unfold the next chapters of our lives. Help us to portray hope in the world and bring good things to your kingdom. And may this celebration be a reflection of the blessings that we find in knowing and loving you. For this is the day that the Lord has made. We are glad and rejoice in it. Help us, Lord, to be a light to this world so that our lives radiate your message of love, hope, and joy. May we be the beacon leading to you those who seek truth. More than anything, may our measure of success be measured not in making money or in making a name for ourselves, but in trusting in your mercies, which are new every morning, and in bringing fame and honor to your name by doing justly, loving unconditionally, and walking humbly with you. Wherever the next chapters takes us, gives us character that exceeds our gifts and humility that exceeds our influence. Give us Jesus. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
processing back to the football field. You are welcome to come onto the field and take pictures, spend family time. We have several photo opportunities you can take advantage of by the entrance on the stage where you saw the balloon arch there. So you guys are welcome to come to the field and meet your graduate. Thank you.